Hey guys, I'm Nicole and welcome back to my channel. If you want to redefine your relationship with money, you're going to want to do these 3 simple things. Number 1, the first thing you want to do is observe. You want to observe your current relationship with money. What do I mean by your relationship with money? Now, your current relationship with money at the moment has been shaped by everything that you have ever believed to be true about money in your life. Perhaps it was based on what your parents conditioned you to believe or what society has taught you to believe about money. But things like
money is hard to make,
or money doesn't grow on trees, or
money is hard, money is stressful.
These are the money stories and beliefs that we have that shape our relationship and experience with money. If you want to know more about the money stories that you might have right now that are maybe not serving you, you want to check out my other video on 3 of the most common unhelpful money stories. So you want to observe your relationship with money by becoming aware of the money stories that you believe. Again, often these beliefs are hidden, they're subconscious, and they are outside of our awareness bracket because they feel so true. It feels kind of like this is just the way it is. And it feels almost like everybody in the world also views it that way. It's likely because your environment has mirrored those beliefs as well for so long. And in order to shift your relationship with money, you really have to start at this foundational level of becoming aware and simply observing. Being an observer means not judging yourself for having certain money beliefs or having a certain experience with money up to date. And it means being able to stand back and just take note. So what judgment looks like is me looking at the way that I've historically experienced money. For example, money comes and money goes. It seems like I never seem to be able to save more than $2,000. And if I were to judge myself for this, I would be basically saying, Nicole, you're so bad at money. Or I would be believing the story that I'm bad at money, or that money doesn't like to hang around me. Money always goes. Money comes and money goes. If I were to judge myself for that, that's what that would look like. If I were to simply observe, all I would be doing is going, I'm curious about why that is. I wonder why and when I started to believe that money always came and went and that I was bad at money. I wonder what stories, what experiences in my life reinforced me believing that I'm bad at money. It's learning to look at the reality right now, not as a fact that cannot be changed, but looking at it from a place of curiosity and understanding it from all angles. Being the observer and just expanding your awareness of your current relationship with money will allow you to detach from the situation rather than making it a deeply emotional, personal experience where you feel like you're personally being attacked by yourself every time you look at your money. That will make it so much easier. I feel like a lot of my clients, a lot of the people that I work with around money and money breakthroughs often identify with their money. They feel like they can't look at money or they can't look at their bank account, they can't talk about income or savings without feeling really anxious. And that's because money to them is a part of their identity. They've attached who they are to what they make and what stories they've made money mean about them. And that just doesn't have to be the case. That's such a terrible way to identify yourself in the world. So the first step is to make sure you detach from any expectation that money is a part of your personality or part of your identity. So you want to become an observer. First step, become an observer. The second step to redefining your relationship with money is evaluating. You want to evaluate what are the effects of the things that you have observed about money in your life on the quality of your life or your experience of life. So when you look at your current money story, for example, it's that I never seem to have enough. Let's say this is your money story that you've observed and identified. You want to think about, well, what is the effect of this belief and this money story? What impact is it having on my experience of life? When I am believing insert whatever your belief is, this is the quality of my life. This is how I end up engaging with money. When I'm believing that money always comes and goes as if it's the only truth in the world, then the impact is that, well, what you might find with the brain is that it basically plugs and plays whatever you tell it to believe. So if you tell it that money always comes and goes, then guess what evidence it's going to look for? Guess what pattern it's going to perpetuate? It's kind of like a supercomputer, and every belief you plug into it is it's just going to accept it. It's not going to be like, that's bad, that's helpful, that's unhelpful. All it's going to do is go, thank you for that.
Your wish is my command.
Now I'm going to go and look for evidence to prove you right. Your brain doesn't like to make you wrong. So when you are looking at these beliefs that you have, you want to evaluate whether you like the result it's creating for you. And the reality is, this is actually such a simple task. We all know how to evaluate. We've all been evaluated before. Like, take it back to primary school and high school, right? We know what evaluation looks like. It means looking at what we're creating or the result that's being created and asking ourselves, do we like that outcome? Do we like that reality? Do we want to keep perpetuating that experience? But the sad thing is, nobody ever does it. Nobody models it for us. We're expected to have this incredible, abundant, rich mindset, this healthy relationship with money, and yet nobody ever taught us how to do it. And so this second step is so important. Even if you don't see anybody else around you thinking about their money thoughts, evaluating how they relate to money, you want to make a habit of checking in with the existing money stories going on in your world and evaluating whether they are serving you. And sometimes unhelpful money stories can creep up circumstantially. They may not have been there last week, but they might be here today because perhaps you watched something on TV that made you feel a certain way about money or about your money and shifted that. And so something as simple as a visual trigger or a conversation with somebody or hearing somebody, this used to happen a lot to me when I would hear people talking about investments or getting properties. Because I was so insecure and uncertain about all of these financial areas of my life, hearing conversations like that would trigger and set me off and make me feel really insecure about money. It would make me feel bad about my money. And from the place of feeling bad about the money I had, I also began to feel bad about the money I didn't have. And that created this unhelpful, unhealthy, negative experience and energy around my money. So evaluate. Now, the third and final step to redefining your relationship with money is adjustment. You want to begin to make some adjustments. Now, in the beginning, you're going to want you're going to ask a guru or read a bunch of books or listen to a bunch of podcasts. You're going to expect the world to tell you the answer. Unfortunately, there is no right answer. Your experience with money will always be subjective. And so what you want to do in the adjustment stage is you want to find beliefs about money that do feel good to you and then try them on. Kind of like going to the shopping mall and finding some outfits that you like. You want to literally go into the change room and try on these beliefs and new narratives. Because when you consciously say, I'm going to take off this perspective, this hat, let's say the hat is, I don't have enough money, or
Money's hard to make, or
money comes and goes. Let's say you take off that money comes and goes hat, and then you put on a new hat. You literally try on a new perspective. And maybe this hat is all about believing that money loves to be in your company. Instead of believing that money comes and goes every time it's near you, instead it's money loves to hang around me. And maybe quite literally, you could say something like, money doesn't just come and go every time I get paid. With this hat, I love to store my money. I love to take care of my money. I love to experience having money, and I don't feel the need to impulsively spend it or get rid of it. because that's really all that's happened, right? So let's say we take this hat, we put it on, we wear it for a week. What will it mean for you to, number one, make sure that hat stays on, even though unconsciously you're going to want to put on the other hat because that's what you're used to. But secondly, it's observing, how does it actually feel to engage with your money and with the world when you're wearing this hat? It's an exercise mentally that's going to have you play a little bit more. It's going to have you shift and challenge a lot of the money beliefs and stories that maybe you thought were the only truth. And this is part of the work. The discomfort is all part of the transformation because it's kind of like learning a new skill. Up to this point, you have only practiced a certain set of skills, a certain set of beliefs that have, in fact, created and shaped your world around money and how you experience it. What you're doing is you're just going, we're going to learn a new trick today, and we're going to practice, and we're going to keep going until it feels more natural, until our body starts to learn the maneuvers more naturally. But in the beginning, it's going to feel really rigid. It's going to feel really strange. It's going to feel really uncomfortable, and you might fail at it a few times. But this is the work, right? So if you just follow these 3 simple steps of observing, evaluating, and adjusting, and you keep going through that cycle over and over and over again, you will find that you will have redefined your relationship with money much faster and much more effortlessly than you thought. This work is definitely a lifelong journey of work, and I've been doing this for the last 3 years, going through as many of the money beliefs that I find in my day-to-day and taking them through this cycle. And I've found that this work is just so rewarding. If you can be open to transforming your relationship with money and redefining some of the things that you were conditioned to believe around money, you're gonna feel so much more. My camera died right in the middle of my sentence, but to end this video, I just want to let you know, if you do this work consistently and you get better at taking your own brain through this redefinition cycle with money, you're going to find that you're so much more empowered around money. You don't feel terrified about all the thoughts about money, and money becomes your friend. It becomes something that you love to engage with because you realize that it is a powerful resource that your validation and worthiness does not have to depend on. Instead, you begin to relate to money in a way that is liberating, and money begins to support you rather than become something that intimidates you and creates a lot of stress in your life. That's it for the video this week, and I'm so sorry about my video cutting off. Thank you for tuning in this week, and I will catch you in the next money mindset video again. I'm interrupting this video to let you know that I've just released a brand new workshop called Money Liberation. If you are somebody who has always felt like money is stressful, creates a lot of anxiety and worry and attachment in your life, then it's time to redefine the role money plays in your life. This is a masterclass designed to help you transform your money mindset completely in just 90 minutes. You want to join me for this workshop if you're somebody who values the role that money has, but you do not want to spend your life in a constant chase for it or feeling constantly scarce around it. I grew up feeling constantly scarce about money. I witnessed my parents stress, hustle, exhaust themselves for money, and at the same time, never giving themselves permission to enjoy the money that they've created. As a result, this created a lot of scarcity, a lot of insufficiency, and a lot of outsourcing my personal self-worth and validation to the amount of money I have, make, or even get to spend. This experience with money has kept me playing small and limited. So that's why I've created this workshop, so that I can help people just like me work through their money wounds, understand the money narratives that inform the way they relate to money today, and learn how to reprogram their mind into a more abundance mindset that allows you to attract, create, and experience money with more ease and more flow. You're going to walk away from this workshop understanding exactly what you need to do to reprogram, to shift, and to elevate your way of thinking from scarcity and not enough and feeling lack to living the abundant, most wealthiest version of your life from the inside out. Money does not have to be a stressor any longer. Money doesn't have to be the thing that your life revolves around, and money no longer has to be something that makes you feel small. I want you to unlock your true wealth, your true power, and experience full liberation from money by learning to relate to it in a neutral and empowered way. Join me for the workshop. You don't want to miss it. Sign up while it's free in the description box below. See you there. Bye.